talk. But first, we're going to be joined by the president of Extreme Fighting Championships and also the owner of Extreme Fight Club in New Jersey, Hani Darwish. Welcome to Pro MMA Insider. How you doing tonight, sir?
What's up, my brother? How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks for joining us tonight. A lot going on in your neck of the woods. First, just fill us in. Obviously, the big storm over there. How'd you make out in that?
Oh, man, we did all right. I mean, we were in no power for a good week and a half. A lot of devastation. A lot of people lost their homes. A lot of fighters, were unable, lost their gyms and unable to train. So it was really, really, really tough on the majority of the people here in South Jersey, Long Island, and some of the surrounding areas, We got pretty hit hard in reference to power outages in my area, but no floods or anything like that. So we were fortunate.
Well, here in Vegas, we don't have to worry too much about hurricanes. But I did live in North Carolina, 1989, Hurricane Hugo, so I know what it's like to be without power for a long time. It really sucks and makes you appreciate the finer things in life, and like electricity and warm food and that kind of stuff. So, our hearts and prayers out to everybody out there in that part of the country. Tough time you're going through.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. It wasn't easy. I'm sure if you've experienced some of it, you know what's going on. And then we got hit with a nor'easter like a freaking less than a week later. That wasn't too fun either. So, luckily, I was too warm today. We feel a lot better.
Right. Well, now the one thing you have coming up, an event here November 24th there in New Jersey. Ever any thoughts of canceling that? Well, just first give us a rundown of the event before we get to that. Just tell us what you got coming up and a little bit about the card itself.
Well, we got a lot of things going on with that. It's just, we got Big Gil, Blackout Gil. Isabel is a 265-pound fighter, undefeated. We're looking to make some real big waves once he turns pro, because he's an amateur right now, and we have a lot of high hopes for him. The guy's just stopping everybody left and right, and he trains with a lot of big names out here in Jersey, and he's just like, everybody's really wowed by him. And we got a lot of young prospects that are, a bunch of undefeated guys that are really good wrestlers and really good jits guys just coming up, and they're always going to be on the card. That's the thing for me here. It's like I take some of the toughest guys and I make them fight each other, and just and we kind of like weed out everybody and try to keep the best guys on the card all the time, So we have a lot of good things going on with that. But in reference to your first question was I considering maybe canceling the show? Oh, you betcha, man. We totally thought about it. As a matter of fact, I called like maybe 20 guys just today because I was contemplating and maybe thinking about pushing the date back 1 week, only because I had so many conversations with different fight camps that lost their homes or lost their their gyms or are still without power or still flooded out. And some of these guys lost a good week and a half, 2 weeks of training aside from trying to rebuild their homes, So I thought about maybe possibly, like I was surveying it and just thinking to myself, do I want to go out and, maybe postpone this show? And other promoters from other, ended up losing their dates, because it was during Hurricane Sandy. So they were calling me and asking me if I could possibly, switch my date around and help them out, and different things like that. So a lot of shit going on because, excuse my language, but because of this hurricane.
Right. So ultimately, and about the language, I don't mind the Walt. He's a big guy, but he gets really offended by bad language. Right, Walt.
All right, we'll make sure we won't him that.
No, I'm just kidding. You're free to speak your mind here. We had Kendall Grove on last week, so I don't think you can surpass what he had to say. So, ultimately, what led to the decision for you to keep the show going, then?
To be honest with you, I just got a lot of feedback from a lot of people. See, Thanksgiving weekend. I mean, it's a Saturday after Thanksgiving. A lot of people are going to be here, home from school and stuff like that. And we just thought it was a real good party night, and to kind of give people the opportunity to forget about the hurricane and come out and enjoy some really good fights and some good MMA culture, and some good music, and just hang out and just get together and kind of let people have the opportunity to kind of forget about the storm. So I said, you know what, I think it's best that we keep the date and talk everybody into coming out and fighting, and I'm sure we're going to have it'll be a lot better to stick it out versus pushing it back a week. Plus, a lot of these guys are on, like, the guys that didn't get hit that hard, that just lost power, were still doing their strength and conditioning training, and they were on the certain regimens and, schedules in reference to losing weight and stuff like that. And if I would have pushed them back, it kind of would have affected that game plan for them,
Right. So,
had a big,
go ahead.
It had a big impact on my decision, but, we kicked it around all day. We were thinking about it for the past, 2 days or so, and, I was just talking to one of my brother right now, who's my partner, literally a half hour ago, and I said, listen, we're going to stick it out, and we're going to go ahead and stick to the 24th,
Right. Now, there's so many different promotions, regional promotions everywhere that it's easy for people not to be familiar with each of the different groups that are going. So just if you can, real quick, kind of give the folks a rundown of what Extreme Fighting Championships is and where you see your place in the marketplace.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're considered the North Jersey promoter. We promoted a lot of boxing events a long time ago, pro boxing events, and then we have a background in MMA. That was our training. Me and my brothers were all wrestlers and boxers, and we did a lot of little jits here and there. And we decided to go into the MMA world because it was undeniable, and and we opened up a gym, and the freaking place took off. We housed a few hundred students, and we managed a few really good fighters. And then it was just a nice place for us to start promoting. But even when we were doing the boxing shows, we always wanted to do shows up in North Jersey because there was just so much talent up here, and we felt it was unfair to make people drive all the way down to Atlantic City all the time, take a 2.5-hour trip out there. And, it was cool to do that once in a while, but to do it all the time, a lot of people didn't care for it that much. So we found a market up here in North Jersey, and we tapped into it, and we've been extremely successful at doing it. We sell out all our shows. Extreme Fighting Championship is, a force to be reckoned with. Everybody knows this promotion. There's probably 3 top dog promoters in Jersey, and we're definitely one of them, according to the press. So, and we're a young company. We're still growing. We're not trying to be the UFC. We're not trying to be Bellator, any of those big guys. We're happy doing what we're doing, very successful at it, and we want to continue to grow. Eventually we'll spread our wings, but we're happy doing it here in Jersey, so that's who we are.
So tell us a little about this particular card. Which fights in particular are you looking forward to yourself as a spectator, and which event is this for? How many events have you done prior to this?
Well, we've had about 5 events prior to this that were MMA events. This is the 5th MMA event that we're doing, and we've had a ton of pro boxing events before that. So in the past 2 years, we have about 5, because in New Jersey you're only allowed a certain amount of dates with the shows. There's so many promoters, they just don't give out tons of shows. Like if I was in another state, I would have had 20 shows by now. But who's got the time for that, too? With a gym that I have, it's not that easy to do that either. But, my guys are actively fighting, so I don't mind doing, 3-4 shows a year. So what we have going on the show, a really big fight that I'm interested in is this kid, Blackout Gill, Isabel. He's a real big guy. He's undefeated right now at 4-0, and he's stopped everybody in the first and second round. So we're just looking forward to him. He's fighting another kid who's like 265 pounds, 6'4", by the name of Demetrius Lindsay out of Pennsylvania, who's a really good wrestler. So I'm kind of looking forward to that fight. It's like 2 big towers about to go on and knock each other out, I think. We'll see who ends up, on the canvas first, I guess. That's one of the big fights I'm excited about. And then there's a couple other ones. There's a kid, Fabian Rosario, against a Delroy McCoy. You know, both guys 5-0, was a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. Under Johnny Guerrero, he's which is a Machado black belt. He's also took like 6th or 5th in the state in wrestling in high school. And kid's a real top-notch athlete. Looking forward to watching him fight. You know, Delroy McCoy is a real street-type kid, real type, like gangster-type fighter who comes in real rugged, you know, and looks to kind of like he doesn't care who the fuck he fights, you know. So I'm excited about that up too, you know. But, you know, the whole card is stacked, man. The whole card's stacked. You got Ray Barty, another heavyweight, against Alec Hubin. Those two kids, you know, Alec Hubin coming from AMA Fight Club. I'm sure you've heard of it. You know, they house a few UFC fighters with Mike Constantino out there. So those two guys are going to be another two towers, you know, real big guys looking to knock each other out as well. So there's going to be some heavy-handed fighters, some really good ground technical fighters on the card. And I think every single, you know, one thing we pride ourselves on is evenly matching fighters. You know, we don't like seeing guys go in and getting knocked out in 2 seconds. We're more interested in guys going in there and, you know, banging it out. If there is a knockout, it's because somebody made a small mistake and another guy capitalized, you know. It has nothing to do with the one overmatched or nothing like that. We're not into that, you know.
Yeah, see, you're talking about those big... You're talking about those big guys. I know Walt got excited at being a super heavyweight himself. He gets excited talking about those big guys.
Is that right, Walt? You excited, man? Them big guys. I got some big boys over here, man.
That's what's up, man. I'm not a super heavyweight, by the way, man. I'm not heavyweight. Don't get it twisted.
Oh, when you're out of camp, maybe.
All right.
Yeah, when I'm out of camp, yeah, probably.
Tough, man.
So tell us a little bit about the, you know, back a little bit about the hurricane. You know, it's kind of strange in times like that. It can work for you or against you. You know, it can be a thing that completely gets overlooked because people say, you know, they have more important things to concentrate on. Or, you know, I remember back during Hurricane Katrina how New Orleans, they really rallied around the Saints and that kind of thing when they finally had to come back and play, you know, although it was much later. But the community really rallied around them and gave them a point of something to focus on. What do you think the reaction is going to be to the crowd as far as the crowd goes? Do you think that's going to be something they look at as an escape and something to get away and enjoy themselves, or are you kind of worried about the attendance?
No, honestly, I'm not worried about the attendance at all. I mean, every one of our shows have been sold out, and I think we're going to continue to do that. You know, I think that the Hurricane Katrina, you know, it happened about a week ago. I mean, Hurricane Sandy happened about a week ago, and I think that people are kind of like, they're kind of done with the whole storm thing, and they, you know, they really are trying to recover New Jersey and rebuild it. But at the same time, I think come Thanksgiving time, people are going to be looking to go out and just kind of like take a breath of fresh air. You know, they're going to want to get into the mix. And here, you know, the fans are so supportive, man. They come out and they support their fighters big time. You know, every guy brings his own clique with them, and you know, you see them wearing the same color T-shirts for the same fighter. You know, they're also very supportive, and they're very supportive of our franchise, which we're very proud of. You know, so as a matter of fact, one of the things that we are doing is just to, you know, show that, you know, the recovery of Jersey and show that Jersey's strong. You know, we're actually donating $5 to every for every ticket sold. You know, we're donating a portion of the ticket sales to disaster relief, and it's, you know, to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. You know, it will receive $5 for every ticket sold for the event, and it was a way, you know, and that's just something small that we're doing to help recover New Jersey. And there's a lot of things that we're trying to do and help out, and you know, we've offered a lot of different things up, but that's one of the main things, and just to show that, you know, anybody that buys a ticket can be a part of supporting the recovery, you know, after Sandy, you know. So, and we're big on this thing, this Jersey Strong thing. We're really big on it. We believe that Jersey people here, you know, they stick together when they're tested, and they definitely push hard, you know, to come out on top. So.
You know, that's a great thing. I guess, you know, you mentioned the $5 going to the different charities there because, you know, I guess you might have some people feel guilty about going, you know, and enjoying themselves when you know, going through a rough time. But, you know, at least here's an opportunity for them to go out and have a good time, get a little bit of escape. At the same time, they're still doing something good for the community and helping out people that are in need.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're even going to have donation boxes for those who want to donate a little more than $5. To the community, to the food bank, the community food bank, and of New Jersey. And on top of that, just another thing, I mean, we do a lot of different things here and there, but just I think moreover, people kind of just need that. They're going to want that. They're going to want to take that break, and then in reference to just helping out, man, it's just, I've seen it so much here, You'd be surprised. You see neighbors that don't talk to each other, and then, like, something happens, like Hurricane Sandy, and then next thing you know, like, during the storm, you'll see that same neighbor that doesn't talk to his neighbor knocking on his door, checking if he's okay, or wanting to see if he needs anything. So, it's good to see that, So I think sometimes when you go through tragedy, you wake up a little bit and it humbles you, and it brings people closer together,
Yeah, that's the same thing. I know Walt's from the southeast there, so it might be a little bit the same way he went through. But I'm from Detroit originally, but I grew up in North Carolina, and there was a time when you always said hi to everybody you walked by. But having lived in the Detroit area and here in Vegas, that kind of thing stopped. People don't, they don't look at each other, they don't say hi, they don't, they don't even know their next door neighbors. And in unfortunate events like Katrina, like Sandy, like 9/11, it's obviously it's a huge tragedy, but it is. Nice in one respect that it does, allow people to kind of focus in the community and get involved and reach out and help each other, which is something that, unfortunately we don't do nearly enough.
Yeah, I mean, it just gives you a common denominator. Everybody's got something in common, and we just all band together, and, we know we have one goal, is to help recover. I mean, listen, I grew up on the Jersey Shore. My kids grew up on the Jersey Shore. Everybody and their mother, from Jersey goes to the Jersey Shore, and to see, some of the devastation of what went down in Jersey, down at the Jersey Shore, boardwalks and everything just being destroyed out there is heartbreaking. So you want to see people get back, to rebuilding that, and aside from that, just their homes, period. Some of the people that live out there. I mean, I was talking to Kurt Pellegrino. I'm sure you know who Kurt Pellegrino is, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Pellegrino today, and I said, hey, Kurt. I was thinking about maybe pushing this date back a week. What do you think? And he said, oh, man, that might be really good for me. And I said, really? Why? I can't find one of my Mexican fighters. I said, what do you mean?
Oh, jeez.
He goes, dude, he lives right on the beach. I have not talked to him in 2 weeks. I have no idea where he is. I'm like, well, what are you going to do? He's like, well, if you push the date back, I think it'll be sufficient time to find him. He'll still be on the card, So I'm like, what if he's training? Is he training? He's like, no, it doesn't matter if he's training. He's Mexican, man. He'll fight,
Right.
So, it gives you an idea.
Sure.
A lot of people, lost contact over there, but, it was devastating. So we all have a common goal, and a common denominator is we want to try to rebuild. And one of the things, one of the ways you can support is by supporting this event. Go to EFCMMA.com, tickets. If you're out in the Jersey area, you won't be disappointed. It's one of the best promotions in the East Coast. Everybody loves it. We're, top-notch fights, awesome MMA culture, and you will have a blast, period,
Yeah, so now for those, is it the event for those that are not in Jersey or can't get to the event, is there anywhere that they can watch on the internet? Is it streaming anywhere, or is it just something that you have to see
on Ustream.com or .tv, and they can watch it live or on tape delay. And, the surrounding area, I mean, North Jersey, we're 10 minutes outside of Manhattan. The event is probably 15, 20 minutes outside of Manhattan. Pennsylvania is an hour, 40, an hour and a half, an hour away. Connecticut, an hour and a half, We're in New York. I mean, everything is right here. So it's not that we're very close to most states, so you can come from any state, and it's probably an hour and a half drive tops, and the majority, it's 20 minutes. And there's just so much talent, and there's, we're the only promotion that's doing shows up here, so, people get excited whenever I do have my shows. They're kind of like all over it, so they just jump all over. I mean, if you see pictures on my Facebook, you'll see lines of, guys trying to get into my shows. They're like 3-4 blocks long,
Well, Well, it sounds like it's going to be a great event. Really looking forward to it. Hopefully the folks come out in droves to support you, and and have a good time and get a little escape, and at the same time, giving a little bit back to the community with the donations and that kind of thing. So hopefully it's a huge success for you. You already gave the website and told more that can watch the fights, but anything else you want to plug, like the Twitter or that kind of thing that the folks can keep up with you?
Yeah, Hani Darwish at Facebook. Hani Hani Darwish Darwish on Facebook, or Hani Darwish MMA on Twitter, or Extreme Fighting Championship or Extreme Fight Club on Facebook. You can, or EFC_MMA on Twitter. You can always find us there and follow us. We're always active. We keep you updated on everything, and obviously EFCMMA.com. It's a really hot, cool website. You can get a lot of information on it, and always support the events. And we do a lot of giveaways and stuff like that. So even if you're not from the New Jersey area and you're out in Vegas, you could still log on to our website and probably win some either tickets, T-shirts, whatever. Boxing gloves, MMA gloves. So it's pretty cool.
Well, sounds great, Hani. We appreciate you joining us, and best of luck in the event. Like I said, hopefully the community rallies behind you, and it's a smashing success. And our thoughts and prayers are with you guys as far as the recovery goes, and just wish you the best of luck in the future.
Poof, poof, bang, pow. Come on down. That's what I'm talking about. All right, you got it, my man. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, take care.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Appreciate it, Hani.